5 Community Calendar, addressing issues of importance to the South Valley.
Good morning. So I have to tell you a little side story before we get into this morning's guests in studio with us. My wife, I want to say a year or so ago, found this decorated rock. I forget where she found it, but came home and was all happy. And on the back of it, it said, "Rock Visalia with kindness." I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't found one of those. And then sure enough, a couple months later, my son found one. And very recently, my daughter has found one. I have yet to find an actual Rock Visalia with kindness rock. But I have 3 ladies with me in studio this morning that may help me find one, because one of the 3 is the founder of Rock Visalia with kindness, Megan Kessler. Megan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
So let's get right into this. What is, for those who haven't heard of this group before, Rock Visalia with kindness?
Well, before we get started, I brought you a little surprise. We're going to get you involved today a little bit. And we're going to paint some rocks. I've got some paint markers and some rocks.
So you expect me to...
Oh, yes.
Ask intelligent questions of you, listen to what you're saying, and...
Absolutely.
And draw on rocks. Now, okay, we can't allow paint in the studio, so what do we have here to decorate these rocks?
We have Koshka paint pens.
Okay.
They're an alternative to paint. They're acrylic paint pens. So it's basically the same thing as your paint, but in a pen form.
Okay, and you've got 2 containers of pens and then 1 container of...
Of rocks.
All right, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I was going to ask you this question. I might as well ask now. The rocks that you have, they're the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Are they polished by you, or do you get them from someplace where they're already smoothed up, or...
They're from one of our local rock quarries. It's in Farmersville, called Site 1.
Okay.
And you can get all your rocks there. You bring your own 5-gallon bucket, and you can fill it up for $6.
Now, by the way,
your own rocks.
I have to mention, because obviously it's radio, no one's seeing what we're doing here. We're talking about actual, honest-to-goodness rocks. This isn't a play on word or anything. It's Rock Visalia with Kindness is this group that, well, as we're doing this, what exactly is Rock Visalia with Kindness? And which rock is mine, by the way? Have you picked one out for me?
Let's give you the biggest one.
Okay. Is that the biggest rock head? That's a beautiful rock, by the way. Okay, so what is Rock Visalia with Kindness?
Well, it's a group that we started on Facebook to spread kindness throughout Visalia through placing rocks throughout town. Our members paint rocks, and they put messages on them, and then write on the back where to find us, and place them around town with or without clues. And the members will go find them or stumble upon them, and hopefully it brings a little joy to their day.
Okay. So I have my rock. This is like twofold. I'll ask an intelligent question, hopefully listen while you're responding, and then also try to decorate a rock. So I have my rock in hand, and so how do I then... So far it's just a nice-looking paperweight.
Why don't we give you a green marker? Do you think you can do a shamrock?
A shamrock, okay.
We got St. Patrick's Day around the corner.
All right, so
why don't we try a shamrock?
Do a shamrock, okay.
Angela, you try one too.
So we'll do one with you, Mike.
So Angela and Elaine are also here with me in studio, and they'll be grading my rock at the end of this experience. So back to what I thought we were actually here before arts and crafts began. How did this whole thing start? What was the catalyst for it?
Well, my nieces and nephews come every summer, and I thought that I'd get them involved in some way in giving back to the community, but we weren't sure how, and we found it on YouTube that this was a huge movement.
Really?
So we decided to take action, and the next day, Rock Visalia with Kindness was born.
So this wasn't the first one, then, that you had heard about. Where are some of the other rock...
Well, there's the first original one ever started is the Kindness Rock Project, and she's out of Maine.
Okay.
And her name's also Megan. But she's the one that started the whole movement.
This is a lot more difficult than I thought, listening and coloring and all that. So that's how it all... And how long ago was that you saw the YouTube video?
About 2 years. In June will be our 2-year anniversary.
Is that all it's been?
Yes.
So my wife must have found like one of the first few rocks that were hidden. Okay. Wow. And I still haven't found one, for the record. I've hidden more than I've found. In fact, Angela, who is here with us in the studio this morning, we'll be talking to in a moment or two, actually came by at one point because I was talking about it on the air and heard me talking about the fact that I had not found any rocks yet, so took it upon herself to bring by some rocks, which still doesn't count as me finding them.
Yeah.
So, just for the record. Why? What is is it you obviously saw the videos and were moved in some way. Why were you moved to bring the whole rock movement to Visalia with Visalia with kindness?
Well, I was seeing how much positive feedback it was getting for her, and I thought, why not have it in Visalia and see if we could spread a little kindness here in town also.
Are you saying we need some kindness in Visalia?
Always.
Definitely.
If you spent any time on Facebook, I think we go and do some kindness. That gets me to the whole Facebook angle. Was that immediately how it started? Was it from day one a Facebook group?
Always Facebook.
Okay, so it launched with a Facebook group that obviously you knew how to create one of those.
Yeah.
And what was the reaction right out of the gate?
It was pretty positive. I mean, we slowly have increased in numbers, and in just over, not even 2 years, we have over 6,000 members.
That many?
Yeah.
Now, is everyone in the group within the South Valley area, or what's the furthest away someone who happens to be in the group happens to reside?
I would say Africa. We've had one of our
What?
rocks reach Kenya. Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, an actual member of the group?
Sent a rock with someone to Kenya, and it's passed between 3 different people.
I've seen, and maybe you have as well, sometimes you'll get a dollar bill that has a little stamp on it. Mm-hmm. Go on this website. I'm always leery of doing that because that's how viruses happen to people. Don't do that. So I go on the company's computer at work, and I look on the website to see where that particular dollar bill has been with the serial number. So the farthest rock away that you found, and actually now you have a member there, is...
It's been found by 3 different people in Kenya.
So people in Kenya are finding rocks and I'm not.
Yes.
Is that...
That's basically what it's come to, Mike.
Okay. And again, this is not as easy as I thought. I'm glad you guys gave me pens as opposed to doing this with that. Okay, this is not...
Let's see.
My shamrock is becoming abstract art.
Aw.
Which...
Once you color it in, it'll all do.
I'll do different colors, and you know what? My daughter will love it because at this point she loves everything Daddy does. She's still at that age where she still loves everything that Daddy does. With the group being as large as it is and being as spread out as it is, with Africa just being one nation represented, in the 2 years or so that the group has been around, what are some of the interesting posts that you've gotten, whether it be questions about the group or feedback you've gotten on Facebook?
It's all been really, really positive.
Mm-hmm.
That it's brought families together, and they're all painting around the table. I mean, members will post pictures of their families around the table, and I think it's great that it's bringing families together. Like Angela, for instance, it's brought her more time with her parents, and so that's an example right there.
All right, so let's bring in Angela for a second. Angela Leathers, good morning.
morning.
First of all, thank you for the rocks a while back.
Absolutely.
You weren't the first. You were the first. You weren't the last to bring me rocks, by the way. Which I feel bad about getting them. I don't think that counts. So I think I've kept one that has been given to me here at the station, and it was insistent that I keep that one. But every other one I felt I was given, so I started hiding them. And with the station's Facebook page, and for those who don't know, I do the morning show on the new My 97.5, and on the station's Facebook page, I will give little hints. Like I'll show a picture of where the rock is very close, so you see some things in the background, and I'm like, now go find it. So until I find an actual rock, I'm going to keep on hiding the ones that I'm gifted. But let me ask you about that aspect of it. What is, you would guess, the rate of which people keep the rocks that they find, as opposed to, well, I find this now, I feel the need to maybe look on the back and go to the website and learn about Rock Visalia with Kindness, and then go ahead and hide the rock I just found?
I think that varies from person to person.
Uh-huh.
Because for myself, I do like to go and find them, but I also like to paint them and go and hide them as well.
So make me feel bad. How many have you found so far? Wow.
I honestly have only found 2 or 3.
That's 2 or 3 more than I've found.
Just randomly.
Actually, I had one person who even said, I hid one for you outside your building, and did what I did, took a picture. I'm like, okay, that's... That just really seemed like it was cheating. So let me get into your involvement with the group. How did you find out about it, and why did you feel the need to get involved to the degree that you're now involved?
I found one almost exactly a year ago on the COS campus.
Okay.
And it was this cute little ladybug shamrock, actually. And
may have
I
been
just
that one.
thought it was really cute. And I've heard about these groups before, and I really like the idea of spreading kindness.
So you didn't realize that the Visalia area had one at this point? Or had you?
I think I sort of knew that there was a group, but I hadn't reached out.
Okay.
And I thought it was a really neat idea, and I found these ladies, and I made friends with them, and I just think it's the neatest group, and we get to spread joy to other people, and I get to play with my family, and like Megan was saying, I get to paint with my mom and my dad as well. So it's been really great for my family, and I've made all these really great friends. So it's just been a really win-win for me. So it's been really enjoyable, and then we just get to see it spread tenfold. So it's just all about positivity.
What, on a scale from like 1 to 10, where would you have put your artistic ability at when you first started finding rocks, and then the first rock that you designed and created?
Oh gosh.
1 to 10.
That's what I'd say about mine too.
As I'm trying to draw a shamrock.
I'm a crafty person, but I'm not super artsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'd say I'm like in a 4, maybe.
okay, so you started off as a 4.
Yeah.
How many actual rocks have you been responsible for designing and then?
Oh gosh, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where would your artistic ability be now? Started at a 4 and now you're
Not much further.
4.5.
I can paint like flowers and trees.
The cutest little gnome homes.
I can make like little.
So if you find a gnome rock, that may have been okay.
Well, little pots made into like cactus pots and gnome homes and things like that are kind of my specialty. So you'll see little creative things like that might be mine. That seems to be my forte now. So it's kind of the requested item for me. But I do like flowers and trees, but I don't always share those.
Now, what has been the effect? You kind of hinted on it a little bit. The effect with your family, as far as doing this as a family, sitting around the table, or how do you do it with your family? Do you have like a 1 day a week that you all decide you're doing this, or is it just a spur of the moment? Someone will get the idea. Let's do it today.
It's been more of a spur of the moment. I like to use it to get my kids off their tablets and their phones.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah. It's been really frustrating. Technology's great, but at the same time, we want to get our kids off their tablets. And we've always encouraged art and development with the kids, so I like to utilize arts and crafts with them. So this has been really great for them to get them to utilize their art skills more. So it's been good for you.
All right, so I'm
watching you with your shamrock development here.
I was going to now here we go, because you're seeing.
I'm watching you right now.
I have my shamrock somewhat. Now, keep in mind, you said you're at a 4. I want honesty now. And I apologize that no one else can see this, but so what do you think of my shamrock to this point?
Hey, I can tell it's a shamrock. So that's good.
Green, I think those are leaves. Okay, so I'm still...
It's recognizable.
Well, then you get to add white in it, and you can
see.
tell it with your white.
See, this, again, I believe this is a first in the years that we've done the public affairs show every Sunday. I don't know that anyone has actually been actively involved on the air. Granted, again, you can't see what's going on with what we do as far as having guests in studio. And Megan, again, if you haven't heard, is here with us this morning with 2 of her friends with Rock Visalia with Kindness, talking about the organization, and started with Facebook and obviously still is there. Now, what is the Facebook page? Is it simply just Rock Visalia with Kindness?
Just search Rock Visalia with Kindness and click join.
Okay, so it really is that easy. I take it then, and one of the questions I was going to ask you is the furthest away that a rock has been found. I'm guessing Africa would probably be
I think
it then.
that's the furthest, yeah.
Okay.
Hawaii, too.
There was some in Hawaii, but I would
Okay.
say Kenya's further.
Okay. Now, when you find that they've gotten there, do you ever find out how it got from point A, Visalia, to that point B? Does anyone ever come to you and say, yeah, I'm the one who brought that to Africa. I'm the one who brought that to Hawaii.
Usually people will send it and someone will place it, but once they did place it in Kenya, it was found by 3 different people because they kept placing it.
And they repost it.
And they repost, yeah. They'll post or they
Okay.
found it and a little bit of backstory.
By the way, if anyone wants to go on a round trip around the world and hide rocks, I'm more than willing to volunteer for that particular
And I'll be
trip.
your guest.
Now, we have the pens with us. If you haven't heard, if you just joined us a moment ago, we are actually doing some of these rocks. Well, I'm doing one right now. Why? I'm the only one doing a rock. You ladies are not.
We're done.
You finished yours since we started? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm
We
like,
do this all day long.
and
Okay.
I apparently do not, for very good reason. But was it Angela or someone else who brought some rocks by for me at one point?
It was
Actually,
Angela.
challenge, but also at the same time challenged me to do a rock. And I had not until now. And when you see this, you will regret the fact that you asked me to actually do one of these. But again, this is more difficult than I thought, trying to come up with intelligent questions while at the same time doing a somewhat of a shamrock. And yours is beautiful. I got to post that picture because it's, again, you can't see it. The leaves all look like hearts, and then you see good luck on the bottom of it. Now, do they all have, or just some of them now, have the go-to Rock Visalia with kindness
Every
written
one
on
of
the
them
back?
should have it written on the back,
Okay,
yeah.
because I have found some that don't. Is that an unofficial Rock Visalia with kindness rock, or maybe it's not associated with?
It could be. I'm not.
Okay.
It could go either way. Some people forget to write on the back, but we encourage it so that they can see their rocks posted because for members, that's exciting for when someone finds their rock and then posts found.
I've heard also something about rock gardens
Yes.
where there are places literally where you're not finding one, by the way, if you go there, because that's what it is. It's just it's a haven for rocks that have already been designed, and it's kind of a point where you can pick some up at that point and take with you if you feel the need that you have to have one,
Yeah,
if you
you
find one
paint
that's
a
purpose
rock
for
and
you, or if you want to hide it somewhere.
Yeah, you paint a rock and then it's called take a rock, leave a rock. So you would leave
Okay.
one and take one. And there's 17 different gardens in town. You can find the list on our page.
Okay.
But they're all over different sides of town, so it's really fun for the kids. If you can't find a rock, you can go enjoy the rock gardens and get a rock per day per garden.
I did not warn you about this question ahead of time. I did with some of these, but this begins something I'm leery of. I apologize for asking, but what has the reaction to the city of Visalia been? Have you gotten an official reaction from city council members, the mayor, the police department, anything from the city at all?
No, not at all.
Really?
Nothing negative.
Oh, there's a story here?
There's the restoration that might be happening at Mooney's Grove that we might be a part of.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's the only thing from the city that we've been contacted about. But as far as complaints, no, the city hasn't reached out to us at all.
That is, I love the fact that they want you involved with it. Now, are they thinking that would be one of those give a rock, take a rock locations,
No,
or
they
something
would
else?
be permanently cemented down. They want our members to make the rocks that would go around the new statue to be permanently placed.
So how long ago did they now, how did you find out about this? Did the mayor reach out to you or someone with the park itself?
Somebody on the council reached out to Elaine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Elaine, why don't you, since this obviously is right in your wheelhouse, Elaine Shearer is with us here this morning. Now, first of all, how long ago did you find out about the group and what got you involved with it? And I love your shirt, by the way, which you can't see. It's Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. My daughter loves that movie.
Thank you. I found my first rock probably last September, and there were just two little tiny rocks, probably not even the big as the palm of your hand, at Walmart at midnight. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
We're late night shoppers.
Were you in pajamas at the time?
No.
Okay.
Not even slippers. And I found them, but my daughter-in-law is the one that had told me probably a month prior to this about the Rock Visalia with kindness, and I kind of let it go until I found those, and I was so excited. I was jumping around in the parking lot like a little kid, and I couldn't read the back because the rocks are so small and my eyes are so old, and so I took a picture of the back and blew it up on my phone just so I could read what it was, and of course I got right on. And then I didn't know much about it, and I reached out, and first person I ever met was Megan, and not knowing she was the founder of the group. And I traded a rock with her because I liked something she had done, and so we traded a rock. And so ever since then, I've been really involved with it. Megan and I get together probably twice a week at least to paint together. And but the project she's talking about at Mooney's Grove, I had gone to an art display at Mooney and met a lady there named Jessica, and she remembered from the Rock Visalia with Kindness and reached out to me, and they want to have our members paint rocks to be cemented around the statue that's there.
Okay.
Because they're going to do a restoration there. So.
I had heard rumors, and I know they brought the boats back, well, I want to say late last year, as a test run, just to see if people were interested, and they had bookings like out the door. They had no idea there'd be that much interest in it. And I believe they brought them back selected weekends and maybe even most weekends now. That I'm not sure, but I didn't realize to the extent that they're doing other parts of the park now too.
Right. So they got it approved, and then we're just waiting. And like she said, because when we paint our rocks, we seal them as well, so the paint stays on the rock forever. And so they want to seal our rocks in the concrete from our group. So that was a very exciting thing for us.
So it all stemmed out of that original meeting with the person from the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like on Mother's Day, and they had this art thing at the park, and I happened to be there, and they had rock painting there. So our family was there, so we all painted rocks, and I painted one and wrote Rock Visalia with Kindness on the back, and I gave it to her.
Okay.
And so that's how she knew about us.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, I'll ask you, but if this is something you want to hand off to Megan, that's fine. How often are there, quote-unquote, official gatherings of members to do rock painting, or is that more like an informal, couple people will get together from the group and say, hey, we've got some time, if you do too, come over to this one's house or that one's house?
Right. Well, Megan had reached out to me, what was last year, was it? And asked me if I'd be willing to teach a class on a rock that I had done, and I said, of course I would. So she posted it on her page, and we had probably 20 members there painting. So now it's become, we paint once a month.
Okay.
And Michael's on Mooney Bowl. Are they on Mooney? Mm-hmm. Michael's on Mooney. We now hold our paint classes there at their room in there.
Okay.
So we do that once a month now. And I usually will try to teach. We ask the members kind of like what they're thinking about. Mm-hmm. And I've taught several different classes, and like the steampunk, I did that class one time. And
okay.
So it's a lot of fun but it's limited, and our spaces get filled up very quickly. She'll post it, and within 15 minutes, the spaces are already full.
You're kidding. Wow.
That's how quick they...
Now, when you first started having the painting gatherings at Michael's, again, the once a month, was it immediately filling up that quickly, or?
Well, it started at different members would host it at their homes.
Okay.
And they've always filled up very quickly, but back then we could have more people, and but they do fill up pretty fast. And then we just partnered with Michael's just this month was our first month we did it with them. So as of right now, we have it once a month in the evening, but we're thinking of expanding it and having a day class as well as a night class. So we can get the people that can't make it at night that can make it during the day.
Okay. Now, I'll ask you the same question I asked Angela. Before you designed and painted or stenciled, or in this case, markered your first rock, where would you have put your artistic ability on a scale from 1 to 10?
That's not fair.
Do we like a 10.6?
No.
Like a 10.10.
That's not true. I just don't post my mistakes. I've been, like Angela said, I've been a very crafty person for a long time, and the painting of the rocks is just something that I really enjoy. As a matter of fact, I paint them, and I usually give them to Megan to hide them because she likes to hide. I just like to paint, so I just enjoy it.
What have you gotten out of this, just personally being involved in this organization?
Well, the painting alone is a good therapy for me because it's very relaxing. Takes me to a different place.
I will tell you, I mean, and I can attest to that because I kind of jokingly said when we first started this, and if you're just joining us, I'm actually trying to do a Rock Visalia with Kindness Rock right now. I was challenged with doing a Shamrock, which it's getting there, but it does. I mean, it does require you, and if you've got things on your mind that are weighing you down, that are pulling you in directions you don't like. It's kind of like I've got an Apple Watch, and sometimes inevitably it tells you to breathe every once in a while. Just take some time out, a minute out of your day, and just breathe. And there's sometimes I'll ignore it, but inevitably it'll hit me sometimes when I really need to do that because it's going to help me. And sure enough, 60 seconds later, I've forgotten about what it is. I was stressed about 60 seconds before.
There you go.
So if you've got something going on, this forces you to concentrate on this exclusively.
Yes.
And suddenly when you're done, you're like, okay, what was I stressed out about again?
That's very true. That's extremely true.
So it's interesting to know that you kind of noted that, and I'm kind of, in a very small sense, in the half an hour that we have this morning, kind of feeling that myself. And I'm almost done with my rock, by the way.
And it is exciting to see so many different ages that are doing this. I mean, we're talking from young children to senior citizens that are getting involved in this whole movement of the rock painting and taking them out and hiding them. And it is exciting to see when they post and you got this little child with this humongous smile on their face because they're just stoked to no end that they found a rock.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, and when you find your first rock, we better see that huge smile of yours.
Oh, you will. Before I even pick it up, I will jump on Facebook Live, and I will be sharing the experience with everybody. I only have a couple minutes left. I'll have to get Megan back on if I could. I would imagine there are some who found out about the organization, found out about Rock Visalia with Kindness, who have no artistic ability whatsoever. They have no interest in even doing the rocks, but still want to be involved and maybe just get them from you and hide them. Is that okay? Is that if someone chooses not to be artistically involved, but want to?
We have a lot of members that have gotten involved in other ways by maybe donating paint supplies for giveaways to members.
Okay.
You know, there are lots of ways you can get involved with the group without having to necessarily paint the rocks and hide them.
I would have said before doing this that would have been my level of involvement because, I mean, as you know, I've hidden quite a few. All the ones that I've been given by Angela, for example, and some other members have dropped by with bags of rocks as well. I think I've got a bag in my trunk yet. And thank you, by the way. You've actually given me a whole nother bag. You give me one rock, first of all, from Elaine.
Yes.
That I'm keeping. I was told that was a gift, but I also have a bag of rocks I will be hiding here in the next few days or so. So if you happen to find one, follow the instructions, go on Rock Visalia with Kindness, the Facebook page, and on there, I'm assuming you can post and say where you found the rock.
Where you found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if someone does want to get involved, is it literally just as easy as going to the Facebook page?
Just get on Facebook and hit the join button, and you're in. And you can start hiding and hunting and participating. And we do lots of other things in the group, like random drops without clues for people to find them. We do quilt rocks. We do paint and place for the kids. We do a Tip Tuesday for members that don't have the artistic ability but are looking for some tips.
Okay, well, speaking of artistic ability, I think...
Let's see.
Keeping with the rules, my time is almost up, so here is my...
Aww.
It kind of looks like a shamrock, and I've got luck of the Irish on each one of the floor leaves, because that would be a floor-leaf clover, so... Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And even if you're just patronizing me, I'll take it.
You had a multitask.
Men can't do that. One last thing before I let you go, because we are literally just about out of time. I have to ask you personally. When you and I first kind of met online, I do this thing every morning at 8:40 called Walking on Sunshine. And one of the things that you mentioned is that you had given up smoking.
Yes.
How are things going with that?
In June, it'll be a year no smoking.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Megan and Elaine and Angela for coming in and being a part of this with me this morning. I will hide my rock after I figure out exactly how to write on the back yet. And I thank you so much for the time this morning. And again, if you're interested in the group in any way, shape, or form, Facebook, Rock Visalia with Kindness. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
KBMI Tulare.